What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about 10 things that you have to be British to understand. So, as an American, I really only understand American culture. So today, I want to check out this video by Easy British English, where he's going to reveal some secrets about British culture. These are things that only British people really understand. Things that you have to have grown up in Britain to know about. So I'm really curious to see what these are actually. So let's take a look.
These are 10 English secrets that only natives know. Here we go.
Okay, all right.
Here's your change, sweetie.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Gotta go. Cheers.
Cheers. Are we talking about cheers? The word cheers? I've heard the word cheers before. Most Americans are at least aware of the word cheers. Although, and I know several countries around the world use it, at least like the UK and I think maybe Australia as well. Maybe more. I don't know. But cheers is this like cool word that like other countries use, and us Americans are like, oh, that sounds nice, but I'm not quite sure exactly how you use it, or so this is actually a really good one.
Just here, please. Cheers.
Cheers.
So first up, we have possibly the most used word in the British vocabulary. Cheers is mainly used as an exclamation to wish good health when you have a beer in your hand. But
Really? I thought, before he explains what it is, I guess I might as well just give the American sort of perspective. Cheers is like a wish of well-being. It's like saying, I hope you have a good day. Like, cheers. Like, yeah, have a good one. Isn't it? I thought it was something more like that.
it can also be used to greet hello, to say goodbye, and also to say thank you. I guarantee you won't go one day without hearing this being said to you. So if you're going to learn one word for your trip, then learn cheers.
So cheers has like a bunch of... You can just say cheers whenever you want. It has like 4 different meanings. It's used as an exclamation to wish good health. Oh, yes. Okay, that's what I was trying to say. He said it a bit more eloquently than I did. A wish of like good health and a good day. Like, oh, cheers. But it also feels like British people use it just as flavor to throw in a sentence, or the whole goodbye and hello thing makes sense to me as well. Okay. I count on an American to really like overanalyze the word cheers, but truthfully, we do not use this word at all in the United States. But it's such a like nice word, very positive. I've always liked the word, but I think most Americans like me are like, I'm not exactly sure what it means, and I'm a little afraid to ask at this point. So this is good.
Cheers.
Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. What is this?
This hand gesture.
We're talking about this hand gesture. So he was at a restaurant or something. This in America means money. That's all it really means. It's like money, like I need some money. This is gonna cost some money. Something like that. So this gesture exists both in Britain and America. Does it have a different meaning at all?
is commonly used to tell someone that something is very expensive, but its main purpose is to signify money. Now, the reason you'd make this gesture
It signifies something is expensive? I suppose you can use it like, if you're purchasing something with your friend and they're across the store and you like point at it and you're like, oh, money. Although it doesn't quite mean this costs a lot of money. I wouldn't say that. So that's different. No matter how I swing it, that's not what it means in America, at least. This just means like I need money, like I need money, this is going to cost money, not necessarily a large amount of money.
is so you can imitate the sound and the feel of money rubbing between your fingers.
Okay. What is this? Okay. This? Is that it? The gestures? What are we talking about here? We're talking about like hand gestures, like this way, stop, that way. That's just the same in America and Britain. This? Okay, I think we finally got to the point of this little skit. It's this symbol. In America, this is the OK symbol. And all it means is, okay, that's good. Yes. Like that. I honestly would have assumed this is the same. Well, I think this means different things across the world, so I shouldn't assume. I guess part of me just assumed in British culture it would be the same, but I don't know why I assume that. What? Does this mean something else?
So this hand gesture is a signifier that you are okay or good. Now you might be wondering why we don't use this hand gesture, and we do, don't get me wrong. Now the reason we make this gesture as opposed to this gesture for being good or okay relates to scuba diving, where if you were to make this gesture, it means you want to go up and ascend, or this means to descend.
Are we just talking about in an industrial setting? Because if you're in a normal everyday situation and you go like that, I think everybody knows this is good. Yes. Thumbs up. I'm not if you go like this to me and we're not we're not scuba diving, I'm going to understand that you don't mean up, that you mean yeah, good.
This means that you're okay, and if you can see, we also have the letter O and K.
Oh.
Makes sense?
Huh.
Now,
Yeah, okay. So that all sounds like that is exactly the same. I knew about these secrets already.
a quick quiz for you. If I told you I wanted to meet you at 4:30, what time do you think that means?
4:30? That either means 3:30 or 4:30. That's a little different than how we would say it in America. In America, if we're going to say time like that, we say 4:30, which means 4:30. I assume 4:30 means 4:30. But I've never heard it said like that without the word past. Small difference, but I think I would understand.
Do you think it means this time
No.
or this time?
Yes, 4:30.
This video is sponsored.
Oh, he's not going to say? And then he immediately goes on to a sponsored segment? He throws the quiz at us, and then immediately goes to a sponsored. Okay, I'm gonna have to skip that. The answer is 4:30. Okay, great.
30. This is a cultural difference I noticed when I was in Germany. If you would say half 4 to a German or many other people, this would generally mean 3:30.
That's what I was wondering about. So this is really something that Brits have to worry more about because you're in Europe and you're interacting with a lot of other different countries and cultures if you're traveling or so for Americans it's like we never have to even think about a lot of this stuff and how it interacts or translates to other countries because it's just there's not that there's Mexico and Canada over here, but most Americans are just hanging out in America. So it's like 4:30, and that's all there is to it.
But in England, when we say half 4, we mean a half hour past 4.
Okay.
So, this is the correct answer.
Okay.
I'm just going to pop inside here for a minute. I'm just popping out.
Poppin'.
Here's your beer, lovely.
I'll just pop it in here. Now, to pop is a really common informal verb that Brits use all the time.
Really? This is something that you say all the time? I did not know that. Pop it. I'm gonna pop in. Pop it in here. Pop in there. This is a funny one. Because I do understand what this means. You can say this in the United States, and it will make sense. It kind of is more of a fun, almost a silly way to say I'm gonna go in the store. You might say I'm gonna jump in the store, I'm gonna pop in the store. Yeah, it's not the most common thing to say. Most people say I'm gonna go to the store, but it certainly would be very normal to say I'm just gonna pop in the store real quick. It usually implies that you're gonna be fast. Maybe this is it sounds like this is a little more popular to say in Britain from what he's saying.
You can use it as a way to describe going somewhere or to be putting something somewhere. For example, I'm going to pop over there.
Right.
Why don't you pop over here? Or why don't we just pop in the car?
Yeah.
Now, Brits love to shorten and combine words, so I thought of 3 words that you'll hear the most and that you can use commonly around your time in Britain. Now, all 3 of these words can be combined with the word to. So you can have want to, going to, and have to. All 3 of these can be shortened to wanna, gonna, have to.
Interesting. A lot of this has to do with like British language, which is pretty cool. In America, we say wanna, we say gonna, we sometimes say have to, but that's not as common. That's the one that sticks out to me, have to. Actually, I would go as far as to say most Americans would not say have to. That is shortening that that's not so common. I would understand what you're saying. It's not like you sound like a whole different language or anything. Like, I have to go. When I say it, yeah, it kind of rolls off the tongue. Like that. It's not crazy. It's just not as common as wanna and gonna. Have to. I like it, though.
An example of using these 3 words would be, I want to go down the shops and I'm gonna buy a CD because I have to get it for my dad's birthday.
CD?
Who buys a CD anymore?
Yeah, seriously. So a lot of these are very, very subtle differences between Britain and America, which is interesting. There's stuff that's like blatantly, obviously different, and which is fun to learn about. Kind of like the use of cheers, how we don't use that at all. And then there's more subtle stuff like using have to.
Dear grandson, here's a few lines to let you know I'm still alive. You won't recognize the house anymore when you come. We've moved, but we took the house number so that we wouldn't have to change our address. Your Uncle Patrick drowned last week in a vat of whiskey in the brewery.
What?
His workmates tried...
What's happening? Also, they took the house number. They took the house number. I hope that's what we're talking about, because I have literally no idea what that means. They took the house number.
Uncle Patrick drowned last week in a vat of whiskey in the brewery. His workmates tried to save him, but he fought them off bravely. He was cremated last week, and it took 3 days for them to put out the fire.
What?
Lots of love, Nanny.
What? What's happening?
If you ever receive a card or a message from Brit, you might at the bottom of the message notice that they put some big X's. Now,
We're talking about the X's. I'm talking about the house number.
When you come, we've moved, but we took the house number so that we wouldn't have to change our address.
Is that a joke or is that a real thing? Taking the house number. Is that just a joke? Am I overanalyzing that? The X's thing is what the point of the video was. Okay. The X's, this exists in the United States. It's not very common. It's kind of like saying have to. It's like, I understand what you mean. It's just not very popular to do. And you might be like, oh, they talk. That's an interesting way they talk. Have to. That's kind of cool. The X's, you just be like, oh wow, this person really likes me. Oh, or if it's your nanny, you just be like, oh, that's nice. It means like kisses, right?
if you ever receive a card or a message from Brit, you might at the bottom of the message notice that they put some big X's. Now, these X's represent kisses.
Right.
A big kiss for a capital X and a small kiss for a little x.
Is this, again, this is kind of the theme of this video, understanding the nuance between the difference between American and British culture. Is using X's in a message common? Because I would not say it's common in America. It's just a thing that exists that you sometimes rarely see. Or maybe that's just me. Maybe just no one wants to put X's in my messages and do little kisses. Maybe that's just me.
Also, interestingly, if you see circles and X's, the circles represent hugs.
Right.
How
hugs.
lovely.
Yes, okay.
Now, as a general rule, us Brits like to add the letters IE or the letter Y as a suffix to nouns to create informal, endearing and familiar names, generally to smaller diminutive things. For example, we say things like, would you like to go for a little drinky, for a walkie, see my doggy, my granny, or what's...
What? Is this a thing? Is this a thing? That's very cute, wholesome, kind of drinky. Really? I'm going to be honest, if you talked like this in the United States, you'd almost you get made fun of by your friends, probably. They'd be like, you want to go for a drinky? That sounds like, in America, I'm saying, it would be weird. It sounds like you're talking to a baby. It's really a way to infantize or make something childish. Like, oh, you want a drinky? Oh, you little baby. Like you talk, that's just, for Americans, that's just how that kind of works. Or it sounds like in Britain, this is something that just normal adults do for fun, to make words like sound more fun.
What's this thingy?
What is this thingy? I mean, it's weird because some thingy sounds okay. Drinky, that got me. Drinky is like, no, there's no way any American adult would say that in a serious way. It would be a joke. So that's interesting. I did not know about this. These skits.
Now, I'm sure we're not the only nation that has a hand gesture for drinking alcohol.
Is this for drinking alcohol? Yeah, okay. I mean, I would interpret this as just drinking in general, but I could see where it could mean alcohol.
Some nations, I think, do this, but our gesture is like this. This is a general reference to alcohol, but you can also use it to signify other things around alcohol.
Okay.
For example, if someone's a bit too drunk.
Right. Yeah, okay. This is so it's so random what there's some gestures that are exactly the same between America and Britain. Like this. Exactly the same. And then there's others that are slightly different, and then there's others that are completely different. It's just so random.
That's your signifier. Now, talking of alcohol, us Brits like a good drink, so it's no wonder that we have about 1 million words for being drunk. Now, as well as having many adjectives to describe being drunk, most nouns can be turned into adjectives to achieve the same results. Now, if you've had one too many, you
Really getting technical here. Grammatically technical.
could describe as being bashed, battered, bladdered, blasted, buzzed, cabbaged, canned, decimated, destroyed, fried, goosed, gutted, hammered, lashed, leathered, loaded, mangled, mashed, mullered, obliterated, pickled, pie-eyed, ploughed, ratted, razzled, ruined, sauced, slaughtered, slashed, sozzled, splattered, tanked, toasted,
it just keeps
totaled, trashed, wasted, wrecked, and zonked. Just to name a few.
Oh my god! What the heck? Okay, it'd be easier to list the words in the English language that don't mean drunk at that point. Some of those words mean drunk in America. Smash, wasted, buzzed, but we don't even come close in terms of the volume of words Brits seem to use for drunk. Like slaughtered, pie-eyed, are these real? Mangled, is this true? Guttered? Cabbaged? That's amazing. Are these real? That's amazing.
So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this episode.
Oh my god, I did. I really did. Yeah, these were just a couple British secrets, you could say. Things that you really have to be British, grown up in Britain, to understand and be familiar with. And it was just really interesting to get this glimpse into British culture. Funny enough, some of these things had some overlap in American culture, and then other things totally were different. So you really never know. It's just so fascinating for me. So anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment. If you're British, feel free to leave a comment on any of the 10 British secrets and things that only British people say and do and use. That'd be really interesting to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Britain and learning about British culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.